Hi guys, the latest news TV. Security and terrorism remains among Nigeria's most serious national concern as this country tries to move forward. Persistent military violence, banditry, kidnapping, and other forms of transnational crime, while instability across the Sahel continues to create new security challenges for West Africa. These growing threats that make various people to call for stronger cooperation between Nigeria and international partners, particularly as militant groups linked to AI, Quad and Islamic State continue to operate across parts of the Sahel. Security analysts and international officials have increasingly warned that violence in Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger could have consequences far beyond the central Sahel, including for coastal West Africa countries such as Nigeria. One German foreign minister, which is Johan Wodepo, during a visit to Abuja on July 22, 2026, said instability in the Sahel was increasingly threatening coastal states. This German man reaffirmed its support for Nigeria counter-terrorism efforts and announced €10 million in assistance this year to support the return and reintegration of people displaced by militant violence. Nigerian Foreign Minister, which is Branka Odumeku Ojukwu, also stressed the importance of sustained international partnership in confronting this terrorism, violent extremism and organized crime. Nigeria has spent more than 2 decades battling this insurgency, particularly in the northeast region. These parts Boko Haram and other Islamic State West Africa provinces have remained major security threats, although Nigeria's security forces are trying to carry out various extensive military operations against this terrorist network. These threats has involved them. Militant groups have demonstrated the ability to exploit difficult terrain, porous border, economic hardship, and weakness in state presence. In addition to these attacks and military position, this wider insecurity in our environment it has included kidnapping, attack on rural communities, and violence affecting farmers, travelers, and displaced population. This challenge is no longer viewed solely as a domestic Nigeria problem. The movement of these armed groups, through their weapons, money and criminal network across national borders, has transformed the security situation into a regional crisis. Nigeria's strategic importance is also significant. West Africa's largest economy and one of the region's most influential political and military powers. Instability inside Nigeria could have wider consequences of the Gulf of Guinea and neighboring countries. The security situation in the Sahel has become more complicated. This place terrorist groups continue to operate in political instability and weaken regional cooperation. The Council on Foreign Relations has described violent extremism in the Sahel region as a growing threat capable of worsening humanitarian conditions and spreading instability across Africa. Other people have also warned that this weakening of coordinated international and regional counter-terrorism efforts could create opportunities for armed groups to expand. And one of the greatest concerns for Nigeria is that terrorist networks operating in the central Sahel could expand southward. If you look this thing on that way, this threat particularly difficult to contain. Vast borders, remote communities, and limited government presence in some areas can provide opportunities for armed groups to move, recruit, obtain supplies, and establish network. Nigerian government are trying to stop this insecurity in Nigeria. They have made increasingly sought closer cooperation with foreign government and international security partners as it confronts the changing threat. This is our country that has worked with international partners on intelligence sharing, counterterrorism training, military cooperation, border security and humanitarian assistance. Nigeria and the United States have also been deepening security cooperation with discussions focused on intelligence, counterterrorism, and regional stability. Nigeria and USA this their joint security working group has been described as part of efforts to improve cooperation against militant groups, including through intelligence sharing, training, and coordinated security operation. A struggle against this terrorism is placed against a background of major geopolitical changes. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, which form the alliance of Sahel states, have increasingly pursued security partnership outside the traditional Western framework. In July 2026, Russia and the three Sahel countries I just mentioned, they have agreed to strengthen military cooperation as jihadist attacks continue across the region. These are developments, it has reflected a broader transformation in the region's security alliance. This Sahel region has become an arena in which African governments, Western countries, and Russia are cooperating for influence, military cooperation, and strategic partnership. If you look at this thing now, Nigeria, the changing political environment creates both opportunities and challenges. Abuja must cooperate with international partners while also protecting its strategic autonomy and maintaining effective relationship with other countries that are close to also that may have different security alliance and political priorities. These their counterterrorism alone cannot depend on only military force alone. Military operation remains essential. Experts increasingly argue that a long-term solution must also address the conditions that allow extremist groups to recruit and survive. Poverty, unemployment, weak governance, lack of access to education, communal conflict, and the absence of basic service can create an environment in which extremist organizations and criminal networks find it easier to operate. This is why all those international partners that are trying to partner with Nigeria now are increasingly focusing on a combination of security and development assistance. Germany's support for the reintegration of displaced people is an example of efforts to address the humanitarian consequences of militant violence alongside military operations. For Nigeria, this challenge includes restoring confidence in communities, mostly all those ones that are affected by violence. People who have been displaced need access to shelter, food. Hardship as they are attacking farmers can lead to increased cost of food and also lead to the unavailability of various food. Also, students not scared of going to school, not having the right access to education, healthcare, and livelihoods. Communities returning to areas previously affected by insurgency also require security guarantees and economic opportunities. Without this measure, military victories may not produce lasting stability. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to always stay updated by subscribing, liking, ringing the notification bell, and sharing.